Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here as usual, talking to you. My arms are very tired um, from just from work. Well, from lifting weights and then working. But I know no one asked. I saw a very funny news story. I was on well, I should give the website credit. Rebelnews.com. They have a story about well, let me just get into it. I'm gonna give you the title: Men identifying as trans to switch California prisons or attacking incarcerated women. Women's group says. See this clown world where we have men and women are the same, or a trans woman is a real woman. This is what you get. You have men who are going to prison, changing their gender and saying they're women, and then they're allowed to pick which jail they want to go to. So of course they pick the women's prison. Um, but you know, it's whatever. I mean, this is what people want it. Like, if women are allowed, I'm sorry, if men are allowed to compete in women's sports in the Olympics, that's what's going on now. Then of course, then why not a man can go to a woman's prison? I mean, like, we got to make a choice. It's like we can't pick and choose when to allow the bullshit. So either we just have to face the fact that a trans woman is really a man in a costume, or let's just keep pretending that a trans woman is a real woman, because this is what you're getting. You're getting men or doing time in female prisons now because they identify as a woman. I'm gonna read this. Women have become prey for female identifying inmates in California prisons. A California law is being blasted by women's rights groups for allowing transgender inmates to pick the gendered prison of their choice, citing abuse of females by men. So, men, because a woman is never gonna be. I want to go to a men's prison. It's only men doing this. So apparently, if you're a dude, you can go to a men's prison or a woman's prison. Which one are you gonna go to? It doesn't make sense. In a letter to Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, the Women's Liberation Front (WOLF) accused the state of violating the constitutional rights of incarcerated women and subjecting them to physical, psychological, and emotional harm by allowing men into their living quarters to prey on women. So the WOLF, the Women's Liberation Front, considers transgendered women men. Can you believe that? Isn't that hate speech? I thought, like, in our society, I thought transgendered women are just like regular women. They're like they're like real women, right? I mean, I thought that was the narrative. Interesting. Under the law as written, there is no method to screen out males who generally self-identified as transgender from those who are using the system to prey on women. Even if sincere self-identification was the uh, criteria for transfer, however, it would not mitigate or remove the danger posed to women. A 2009 report found 20% of trans-identified men in California are sex offenders, and 50% have committed crimes against persons, the letter reads. Um, so, a 2009 report found that 20% of trans-identified men in California are sex offenders. Okay. 20% of trans 20% of trans people are sex offenders. And half of them have committed a crime against a person. You know what? Apparently trans women are trouble. let me repeat that. A 2009 report found that 20% of trans women or whatever trans chicks in California are sex offenders. So 20% of trans are sex offenders. Okay, and 50% of them have committed crime against a person. Dude, I mean, that's a lot. That's a high percentage because trans like transgender chicks make up a small segment of the population, like as a whole, but 20% of them are sex offenders. That's just crazy. I'm gonna continue reading. Um, those ruining the prison system. I'm sorry. Those running. I said ruining. Those running the prison system know how dangerous conditions have become for the women in California state custody. Many of the correctional officers have openly acknowledged that they expect the woman will be raped and assaulted. There will likely be pregnancies, and in general, the environment will be ripe for exploitation of the women and challenging to control. So they're expecting a boom in this, and they're saying they're expecting the trans women to sexually abuse the female prison population. They're expecting the female population to get pregnant. They're expecting the environment to be ripe for exploitation, meaning there's going to be a lot more men who are just saying that they're women or saying that they're trans to be there, and it's going to be challenging to control the situation. You know why it's going to be challenging to control the situation? Because you're letting dudes into women's prisons. It's that simple. You're letting men into women's prisons. I wonder why you expect the women to get pregnant or abused. I mean, come on. We gotta like face the fact that like men and women are different, and men pretending to be women are still men, and women pretending to be men are still women. Okay, this whole thing where like your gender changes is bullshit. You're just wearing a costume. Give me a break. I will continue to read this. Um, the wolf. That's the shortened version of the women's liberation front. The Wolf has received numerous complaints from women who have been subject to abuse and traumatized at the hands of male inmates who transferred to their prisons. Wolf legal director Lauren Adams said, and I quote, "We are working with a woman who was punched in the face so hard by a new transfer that she couldn't chew for 3 days. He was taken away and released back in a different yard with no restrictions," Adams said. "He was her cellmate. She had to sleep with him." Interesting. He was her cellmate. She had to sleep with him. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you put a man in a woman's prison and lock him in a cell with the woman inmate. Um, Most people who go to jail aren't good people. And you lock up a man in a cell, in jail with a woman, what do you think's gonna happen? This whole thing is a joke, or are they allowing this to punish the women? That's another thing. I bet you the women who get male inmates, I bet you like the warden doesn't like them or something. Like I bet you it's something like that, and I bet you none of the female inmates who have a male inmate, I bet you none of them are white. I bet you're all like Mexican or black. But anyway, Adams added that many women many Adams added that many women who have been sexually abused in the past now have to share communal showers with nude men. Well, when you take a shower, you're usually nude. I quote, "One woman went in there with two naked men showering who still had penises." Let me repeat that. One woman went in there with two naked men showering who still had penises. Well, if you're a man, you usually have a penis. Um, Once again, these are these trans men in these women's prisons are just men saying that they're women. And for some reason it's okay because we live in a backwards ass society. Adams added, it was incredibly traumatic and scary to know for possibly the rest of their lives they're going to be subjected to subjected to this. But yeah, I mean, this is this is the current woke culture. Okay, once again, men and women are different. Oh, a man pretending to be a woman is still a man. You know what they need to do? If you're trans, you go to a trans prison. They have to make a trans only prison. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing they can do. Um, the state currently has 273 transfer requests. 266 of the requestees are housed at male institutions and are seeking to be transferred to female institutions, while only 7 from female institutions are requesting a transfer to male institutions. I don't get the women who want to transfer to a male institution. But, once again, you gotta, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it's like Clown World. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the state has 1,286 inmates who identify as transgender or non binary. So far, 24 male prisoners have been transferred to female institutions. Wolf speculates that many of the male inmates looking to transfer to women's prisons are not transgender, but are looking to escape their current living situation. No shit. Well, even the transgender ones, like, if you're a transgender woman in a male prison, that's just as bad as being a woman in a male prison. So a lot of these men, I quote, a lot of these men checking the box and trying to get transfers are probably trying to save their lives. I wouldn't want to be in a men's prison, Adams said. You are giving them a way to get out of that. But now it's the women who are in danger. Okay? Many female inmates in state prison have been abused at some point in their lives, with many who have been sexually assaulted. Having to share a cell with a biological man or shower with them is a traumatic experience, Adams added. You might as well just say having to share a cell with a man. Like, you don't even need the word biological. Okay? Okay. Um, that's the gist of the news article. The rest is detail that has already been covered. This is peak clown world. There are over 1,000 requests of men who want to transfer to a female's prison. Okay? And I bet you most of them are going to get passed because, like, if you don't let them pass, they're going to probably sue. Like, because, I'm a woman. How can you keep me in this men's prison? Because we have this narrative going on that if a man identifies as a woman, he is no different than a biological woman. And if a woman identifies as a man, she is no different than a biological man. That is the bullshit we have set up right now. Can you believe that? We live in a clown world. I mean, you might as well say, whatever, it could be a man or a woman. They're in a prison, right? Okay, how come they can't say, well, I identify as a 9-year-old, and then they're like, you have to put them in juvie, you know? I mean, it's not logical, but like, the first thing isn't logical. So like, you just got to throw your hands up and go, fuck it. This is clown world. Complete and utter clown world. You know, men and women are different, and if one of the sexes is pretending to be the other, it's just pretend. We have to stop this nonsense. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that news story. I'll talk to you later. Peace.